can't tell you how many times people set New Year's resolutions and they never work. They fail from them. Today, I'm going to really talk about why people fail New Year resolutions and why they straight up do not work. So let's waste no time. Let's get right into it. One of the first key indications of why New Year's resolutions don't work is because we don't want to become the person we need to become in order for it to work. New Year's resolutions are not the problem. We are. And the strategy is, and how we implement this strategy. And I'm going to get into that a little bit further. But when it comes towards setting New Year's resolutions, whatever it is, we have to become that person on the other end. So however you view the person that achieved that goal in December of that year, you got to take a step back and really evaluate what are their attributes, what are they doing, what are their habits, and what are some of the things that they had to release themselves from to acquire that. So many times that we think that I could just write on a piece of paper or create a vision board, write out the goal, and the activity of me getting towards there doesn't even happen. No, you actually have to implement the steps to do it. You have to be willing to become the person that is going to achieve said goal. One of my favorite affirmations for 2024 is, in order to receive, I must become. I'm going to repeat that again so that you can write it down. In order to receive, I must become. I recited that affirmation every morning. Every morning. It's one of my non-negotiables. Every time I read, and I still read that affirmation, the first thing that comes to my mind is I am working towards becoming that person. I'm maintaining it and I'm working towards it by doing the things that I know I need to do through the work that I've done internally and knowing what she looks like on the opposite end come however future I'm thinking of, right? It's important for you to take a step back and think about, what do I need to do? Who do I need to become? Mel Robbins said, it's not faking it till you make it. And I agree with that. It's not about faking it till you make it. It's about implementing the steps so that you can achieve every goal and desire and dream that you think of. The next step, I would say, why a lot of people don't hit their New Year's resolution is strategy. They don't have a strategy, or they don't adjust the strategy as life be life and kicking their ass, because it's gonna happen, right? Life will always come through and try to kick your ass, and it's important that you are flexible. It's also important that your strategy that you create is measurable up against where you are in your life. Maybe you're gonna say, I want to do this, but according to where you are in your life, there's going to be a lot of resistance. So maybe you just need to come down here a bit. And then as this kind of sort of matches, okay, now it's okay to reevaluate, reflect, and go on and figure out ways that work for you. Full stop. Figure out ways that work for you. And if you ever have a tough time setting goals and you find like it's so damn daunting and it's stressful, people say set goals, and you find like it's difficult, you could download my workshop, this one right here. You'll find it in the description below, and it gives you a step-by-step practical tips. It's also easy. I've made it as simplistic as a person for myself. These are the steps that I've taken over the years of breaking down my goals and creating the strategy so that I can implement and achieve every goal I set for that year or that quarter, however you decide to do it. It is broken down in quarters also in the guide, but you can also take a look and figure out which parts will work for you. It's very, very flexible. And that is what I did for the last 2 years. I broke it down using that guide. And because of that, because I created a strategy, I've been able to accomplish a lot this year. But I want to be very transparent that I had to learn the hard way within the first year of me implementing a strategy, as I said, to adjust the strategy, to be open to adjust it. I think I created and I think we all do it because we want to be so like gung-ho. I created a strategy that no matter what, this is going to happen, blah, blah, blah. Well, life came in and I had to be more flexible when it came towards my strategy changing, and then, introducing new ways of achieving all my goals, or just eliminating and trying something else, right? It's all about trial and error. We don't have to be so rigid and stick to one way. One of the most common New Year's resolution, and gyms obviously try to make millions off of this with their memberships, is to lose weight. And I think we need to think about that a little bit differently in 2025. Not just about losing physical weight, but let's talk about losing emotional weight. Let's talk about losing the mental weight that's holding us back. Let's talk about losing the traumatic weight that's also holding us back. That to me is the most important weight loss that we should be focusing on going into 2025, because that will help you feel lighter beyond your means. Put it this way, anyone can lose weight. Let's say you lose 50 pounds. Let's say you lose 30, whatever, right? You work towards it, you lose the weight. But if you haven't healed that emotional weight, that traumatic weight, that mental weight, you're still going to feel like you're 30 pounds heavier. And I know what that feels like. And when you work through the process and you try to eliminate and shed that piece of weight that is holding you back and holding you hostage on the life that you dream and desire, you're going to be unrecognizable, not just physically, but also just emotionally. How you respond, how you react, you're going to find yourself smiling more. You're going to find one of one of the things that it comes to mind is you're going to think you're not crazy. Everything that you've been feeling inside, you may have felt like, I've always felt like I'm the crazy one, but you're not. You've just been carrying on this heavy emotional burden, and it's time to let all of that shit go. And if you're not willing to let it go, your New Year's resolution will mean absolutely nothing. It won't become what you want it to become. It'll just be almost the exact same thing as the year before or the time before that made you want to set a different tone in your life. So think about that. Think about the emotional weight, your traumatic weight, your mental weight that is holding and hindering you hostage, and how you could work towards releasing yourself from that going into the new year. And the last one I would have to say is probably the most important. I mean, all these are important, but this one I would say hit home for me a lot within my self-improvement journey, within my healing journey, personal development journey in general, is detaching yourself. You have to detach yourself from the old life that doesn't serve you, and you have to be willing to not only grieve it, but to allow yourself for the new to enter. Here's the thing, if you have, I'm going to give you an example. If you have a really delicious dinner and you're like, oh my God, this is so damn good, but can't wait to just eat it, right? You can't wait. But if that delicious dinner was served to you on a garbage lid, you probably wouldn't eat it. More than likely, you wouldn't even want to touch that. You would say, well, how dare myself do that? And think about the things that you should detach yourself. How dare you put such a delicious and beautiful thing on a garbage pan lid and serve it to yourself? And you have to detach yourself from the things that don't serve you, the environments that don't serve you, the people that don't serve you. You have to create those boundaries too. And I know that's tough for a lot of people. This step is probably the most difficult one, because once you start evaluating the parts of your life that you do need to detach yourself from, your first thought is fear of how they're going to react or how the environment's going to react, fear of how you're going to react, because it could be something that you've been dealing with for so many years, and there's a sense of comfort in it because it's just a formality of you feeling it, you constantly being around it. How are you going to be when this time comes of you detaching? And how are also you going to be going through the steps? Detaching is not just like, okay, I detached, that's it. It's almost like a gradual gradual step that you have to take, because if you do drastically, it could just so quickly creep back in. And it is the most difficult step, I would say, out of all of them. But it's also one of the most biggest reasons why New Year's resolutions don't happen, because you're not willing to detach yourself from the old you and allow the new you to step in and be at the forefront and put yourself at the forefront. So that's all I got for you guys. I hope that you're able to take away some key tips and some gems, and I hope that gears in your head started to work a little bit of how you can make your New Year's resolutions actually come to fruition. And again, you could download my free PDF using the link in the description. And I hope that also helps you out. Any feedback or any questions you have, you can email me at info@dopelifecoach.com. If you're new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I will see you on Tuesday and on Sundays. Tuesdays is Dope Life Podcast release. And on Sundays, we have a live, successful Sundays at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. So I hope to see you all there. And as always, y'all, walk with peace, walk with love.